Let's go for an adventure.
I love adventure riding. You get up in the morning, meet your friends, upload the track to your navigation device, and there we go.
Bom dia.
No big plans, just really having fun. We were 15 minutes into our ride when we saw an MX track and decided to go for a lap. The track layout was fun, and the terrain was very soft and loose due to the lack of rain in the last weeks. It was a good warm-up for the rest of the day. But we had to keep moving, because today we have almost 500 kilometers, 300 miles in front of us.
Woohoo!
So far the track was looking great, and some sections were a bit more technical where line choice was important. I am using an old Garmin Oregon 600 that I need to constantly clean the visor from dust. And despite being a bit heavy, it's great. It seems to be a lot faster than my OnePlus 6T running Osman when updating my position. The problem is that I'm experiencing some random shutdowns during navigation, sometimes even crashes and gets frozen. So if you have any tricks and tips, please let me know. Everything was going great. So far the track was easy and had a lot of fast sections. Our only problem was some sections that were a bit dusty. My CRF300L was loving it. Hugo wanted to try my CRF300L, so I got to ride this 250L. A lot of people think that the 250L and the 300L are the same bike with a few more cc. But the truth is that the 300L is more like a 250L version 2.0. The frame is different, with the wheelbase growing 10mm, has more ground clearance, more front and rear suspension travel, and it's a bit lighter. The subframe is welded in place and the assisted slipper clutch is just amazing.
Damn, on the 250L.
Should you upgrade? Well, unless you ride your 250L really hard, I don't think you must. And if you find a good deal on a used 250L, it's probably still a good buy. Trust me when I say that GoPro doesn't do justice to how gorgeous some of these trails are. And when you are close to the beach, eventually you'll find some sand.
Whoa! Next!
The following events are what you shouldn't do when driving sand.
Caralho!
O gajo fez de propósito.
Tem potência! Não, estava em primeira, pá!
Não ia cair. E olha, tudo que ele disse, não é? Areia do demónio.
Ah, então! Mariconso! Noob! Vai, tá?
If that is going to be how I would ride sand today, I would be in a lot of trouble, as after this point we will tackle some deep sand sections.
Esquerda!
When arriving on Nazaré, we went briefly on the highway. But it was just an excuse to go under it and tackle the antennas. That it's one of the most iconic sand trails in this region. At the start of the section on the whoops, I got spit off the trail. The rear shock is really the Achilles heel of the CRF300L and it's worth an upgrade. But everything went great and one by one we kept pushing on the section. At 230 kilos 500 lips, the XTZ 750 Super Tenere was the heaviest bike in the group. And it's just amazing what Manuel does on this bike in heavy sand. You can follow his channel on YouTube where he has a lot of videos riding insane trails on this bike.
Insane!
Hugo had an heavily used Michelin tracker on the rear, and he was expecting to struggle on the deep sand sections. But he was doing fine.
Bora! Tira a parte fácil. Bora, bora! €2.000. A gajo compram roupa, mas querem aquela merda. Querem para aquilo a curtir. Bora!
It's just so sad that the XR is not being sold in European Union anymore. Such an amazing bike.
Até faz cavalinho.
And we are here near Nazaré, famous for having the biggest surf wave in the world. We were deep down on the King's Pine forest, and the sand was really dry and loose. The trails were sandy, fun and fast. But we always need to be alert and looking for tree roots.
Where are your roots?
We soon arrive at Buraco do Lopes, that literally translates to Lopes hole, and from the sky looks like Francisco was the first in, and we could immediately see this was a massive hole. Can't even imagine the one we will face at the end of the day.
Outra vez, bora, bora, bora! Gás, gás, gás! Uhul!
I immediately started to struggle, as the sand was very dry and I was on a fairly used MC360 mid-softs. I managed to do some climbs but never really felt comfortable, as I kept struggling for traction and or power. Duarte is a great rider and the XR650R was at home. He was even having fun on the WR250R. After a nice lunch, Duarte and Francisco had to leave us, but the four of us keep riding for the big massive finale at Poço de Inglês. And here we are. The road here is very good and you can park your bike 500 meters away from the pit. Then you either take the sandy road down or you can use the upper road and go around to enjoy the views. The site is massive. And it's really impressive how big this is. It is so steep that I was actually afraid that the bike would roll back down, despite the deep sand.
Só tenho medo é que a moto venha para trás. Olha lá, até custa a chegar aqui.
I have to admit that not even in my wildest dreams I would bet that my CRF300L could climb it. But I have to give it a try anyway.
Uau! Grande vista! Uhul! Wow, burn my finger. It's amazing how big this is. Okay, let's turn.
I couldn't do it this time, but one day I will see how gorgeous are the views from the top.
Uau! Queimei as luvas todas. Feitos burra, agarrei ali. Ups!
With the burned finger and the day getting away from us, I've done one more try on the left, but no luck at all. And we needed to move because we still had more than 220 kilometers, 140 miles to go. Somehow my light bulb wasn't working, but the crew fixed it. What a great adventure day. A few months later, Duarte went to the pits and climbed it. I hope you enjoyed the video and that today you are going on an adventure, because tomorrow it's always a day too late.